Hi there, and welcome back. It's Lisa from Critters'n Designs in Ontario, Canada. I'm a couple of minutes early, but I never know if things are going to go smoothly or if they're not. And it's been probably 3 weeks since I've done any kind of a video. I have been super sick with the flu, and today is the first day that I've actually felt somewhat normal. So, uh, kind of yay for me. I've tried working on a quilt for the last couple of days, and I'd last just a few minutes before the spins would kick in, and the coughing. So if I start to cough, I apologize in advance because it's an upper respiratory flu, and it's really been affecting my stability. Like I get tippy, and but the coughing is what's killing me. So if I do start coughing, I do apologize. So we just have a couple more minutes. It's not quite 7 o'clock yet, so I'm not going to start yet. But if you're joining, please say hi and tell me where you're from. I'd love to know who I'm crafting with this afternoon. Well, this evening, I guess. I haven't even. I'm totally out of it. I haven't even introduced myself. My name is Lisa, and I'm with Critters'n Designs in Ontario, Canada. And this is the first video that I've done probably for 3 weeks or so. And so I'm a little bit like, I don't know if rusty is the right word, but um, a little bit, yeah, out of there. Hey, Jen, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Um, so if I seem a little scattered, it's because I am. I'm a little bit, out to lunch here, so it's been a while, and it's going to take me a bit of doing videos again to get back in the swing of things. So yeah, don't forget to say hi when you're popping in and tell me where you're from. So I guess it is 7. I can get started. I know it's a couple of minutes early still, but I'm going to switch down and show you what I'm making today. So oh, hi, Joy. Joy is in Niagara Falls, and Jen actually lives in my town. So that's kind of nice. So this is what we're making today. Isn't that kind of cute? Now, this was the first one that I made, and I'm not that thrilled with it. It wasn't my favorite, but um, it was a good way for me to sort of try let me turn this because I'm out of there we go. It was a good way for me to try the technique. Again, I don't love this one, but it got me going. And this was the second one that I made. And this was made using Thankful Garden, the Thankful Garden bundle. And there are, stamps, dies, and the coloring stencils, which I love. So this is I forget what you call these flowers. We have them in our yard, but I can't remember what they're called. Ours are white. It doesn't say anywhere on there what they are, but anyway, we have these in our yard. And so that's that card. And then this one was done using the Layers of Beauty. And I'm going to be using Layers of Beauty this afternoon. And I did this one in Pool Party and Bermuda Bay, I think. I can't remember which colors I used, but it was Pool Party and I think Bermuda Bay, yeah. And then, isn't that cute? I love it. Hydrangea, thanks, Joy. Yeah, and then you can see, I don't know if you can see the detail on here. And this is another technique I'm going to show you tonight, is using the Stampin' Up! Shimmer Paste. Oh, Stampin' Up! Shimmer Paste. I always forget where my camera is. And it's like a shimmery embossing paste. You probably can't see the shimmer in there, but and this shimmer is very subtle until you put color in it. And then I find it's really, really shimmery. So we're going to be using that as well with our stencils. So, and tonight I'm going to be doing it in Fresh Freesia and Petunia Pop. But we're going to do this flower. I probably will do the little flowers in yellow again. But isn't that cute? I love this. So why don't we get started? Um, if people miss the beginning, they can always hop on the replay later. So I have a piece of the heavy basic white here, and I'm going to make 2 card bases. I only need 1, but I'm going to make 2. So I'm going to score it on the long side. So it's 8.5 by 11. I'm going to score it at 5.5. And then I'm just going to rotate it and cut it at 4.25. And this is going to give me 2 card bases. There. Oops, my little thing fell out here. So I have 2 card bases, and then I've also pre-cut. Oh, what do I do with that? Oh, I may have to pre-cut them again. I had pre-cut some basic white. Oh, here they are. Some basic white sheets just in quarters. They're just 4.25 by 5.5. So we're going to use this to do our coloring on. And again, I'm using the Layers of Beauty. And the Layers of Beauty bundle has you can see this is pretty well loved. I love this Layers of Beauty stamp set. I use it all the time. I'm not going to use the stamp set tonight, but I am going to use the die, one die, the big one. But I'm going to use the stencils, and I'm going to use the stencils to color and then also to do the embossing paste with. So I do have a sticky mat that I'm going to use, but if you don't have a sticky mat, you can just use your grid paper and tape your cardstock to your grid. But I do have this, so I'm going to use it. And these are readily available. I got mine at oh, where did I get mine? I think I got it at Glitter and Ink in Belleville, which is close to where I live. It's a craft supply store in near where I live, and it's great. It's just the same stuff that photopolymer stamps are made out of, so it's super sticky and it just holds your paper in place. And then when you go to put your stencil, whoops, when you go to put your stencil on it, it sticks to the mat as well, so it doesn't shift while you're stenciling. So I've got my number 1. I'm going to start with my stencil number 1. And it doesn't matter where I put this because I'm going to be cutting it out. So I'm just going to kind of center it over my card here. So I'm going to start with Fresh Freesia, which is the lighter of the 2 colors that I'm going to use. Another bonus about this. Oh, hi Donna, thanks for popping in. Another bonus of using a sticky mat of some kind is that my ink pad isn't going to slide around. However, if you don't have a sticky mat and you don't want your ink pad to slide around, this little tray came, this is a silicone tray, came with my glass mat. So it's part of the glass mat. And if you put your ink pad on there, it's not going to move around at all either. So, oh, hi, Mary. Excuse me. So, it's also really handy to have. So I'm going to start with, I'm just going to clean off my brush because I was using it this afternoon. And I have no idea. It is purple. I don't have like brushes for every color. I have brushes for every color group. So this is my purple one. So I'm just going to take off because God only knows what's on there. Could be Highland Heather. I know it's probably not Gorgeous Grape because that's not a color I use a lot, but it could be almost anything. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And I'm going to tap off the blobs first. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can sort of see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to tap off my blobbies, and then I'm just going to, let me grab a couple of Post-it notes because I don't want to get ink into my little yellow flowers. So I'm just going to paper those off mask them off. Especially this little guy right here. Oops. It's better if you use the sticky side, you know. There. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to go in really lightly, and I'm using fresh freesia. So I'm just going in lightly. Into the fresh freesia here. And then I also want to do this flower here. So I'm going to mask off those flowers again. There. So this is actually a really quick little card. I'm just going to put a little bit more in there. This is a really quick little card. So for these little guys, I think I'm going to do them in yellow. So let me grab my Daffodil Delight. I need a brush. And I'm going to use my Post-it notes to cover up my purple flowers, because I don't want to get yellow in there, because purple and yellow makes brown, right? We don't want that. So let me ink it up with the Daffodil Delight. I just stuck my finger in it. So let me go in like this. And then I'm just going to put my Post-it note there, because I don't want to get yellow onto my purple. And then let's see. My sticky note is not very sticky. There. And there we go. Is everybody getting the winter storm that we're getting? We've got, I think we've gotten over a foot of snow so far. We have like a fireplace table on our patio, or on our deck out the back door. And this morning, or yesterday morning, there was 0 snow on it. And right now there's over a foot. So we're getting a lot of snow, but it's very soft snow. Like, it's just coming down. There's no wind. There's no craziness. So happily that's good. I can live with that. All right. So that was stencil number 1. And I'm just going to give it a quick clean. And I just have rubbing alcohol in this little spray bottle. Whoops, which is now on the floor. Just give that a quick wipe, because I don't want to transfer it. For sure, I will end up transferring ink onto something, which, you know, you don't want that. All right, so now I'm looking for stencil number 2. So number 2, you can see the 2 in the corner there. So I'm just going to line it up on my stencil like this. And I'm going to, should I use Petunia Pop, or should I just stick with Highland Heather? On this one, I just used the same color, the same color for the layers, but all I'm doing is adding layer after layer, so it just intensifies the color. So maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I won't use the Petunia Pop. I'll just use fresh freesia again, and I'll just add the color to it. So again, you just want to whack off your blobs there. And I'm just going in with the purple. I love stencils. I wish Stampin' Up! Would come out with more of the stencils. I think they're fabulous. Okay, I'm just going to do this guy over here. And then it shows that we need to do more yellow. So let me go ahead again with Daffodil Delight. I'm still going to use Daffodil Delight, but again, I'm just layering color over color. Like this. Try not to get it in my purple ink there. Oh, hi, Nancy. Oh, thank you. She likes my hair. I'm thinking, I look like the wrath of God because I've been sick for the last 2 weeks and a little bit. And I don't think I even brushed my hair today, to be honest with you, but thank you. That's why, no close-ups today, because now the good news is, being as sick as I was, I lost 5 pounds, which I'm sure as soon as I have a normal meal, I'll have that 5 pounds right back on. But yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks for sure. All right, so we're done with the yellow, I think. So I'm just going to pull this guy off and give it a quick spritz with my alcohol and clean it. It's probably not a good idea doing it on my cushy mat. This is a neoprene place mat, sort of. It's a desk mat, and it's what do you call it? Like absorbent. So there's ink all over it, but that's okay. I don't even care. All right, so now we're up to number 3. So now I have, can you see the 3? Oh, there you go. So now we're on to number 3. So the number 3, we are going to line it up. And sometimes I find these stencils a little bit weird to line up. But I'm using the holes of these flowers to line up, and then everything else hopefully will just line up. So I'm gonna go in with the petunia pop on this one, I think. And because it's a little bit darker than the fresh freesia, I'm not too concerned about transfer of color. So I'm just gonna go in here and just add. This one's a little bit brighter than the fresh freesia, so it'll give it a little bit of a pop, I think. I'm trying not to get in the yellow. There we go. And then for the inside of the flowers, I'm gonna pop in, let's see, I think some lemon lime twist. So I need my masking papers here so that I don't get any lemon lime twist in my purple. So lemon lime twist is a light, bright, almost neon green. So Nancy, I was waiting till I feel better. I'll give you a call and we can book our next kit together if you like. I know the girls seemed like they'd like to do it again. So there we go. So there is the flowers. We're done with the fresh freesia for now. And so that's what we have so far. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. All right, so let's give that a quick clean. And then next we're going to do our leaves. So I need number 4. So I have my number 4. And I'm lining it up. Let's see. So I'm using this part of the flower to line up my stencil. Unfortunately, sometimes when you buy stencils, they have the flowers or whatever etched so that you know exactly where to place your stencil. And this one does not, but that's okay. I have it figured out. So we just lined up this flower and we're good to go. So I'm going to pop in with, do I want to do soft seafoam or do I want to do lemon lime twist? I think lemon lime twist. It's so bright. I love lemon lime twist. So let's go ahead and do that. So I've got my green brush and excuse me, sorry. So I'm going to go in lightly at first. I could just do this all day long. When my granddaughter comes, she always says, Grandma, let's go make flowers. And this is what she wants to do. She loves stenciling. So for her birthday last year, I got her an art kit, and it was all stencils and little brushes and little ink pads. She thought she'd died and gone to heaven. So the kids have been learning to ski this year, and they're doing really well. And then Emily was in I guess like a recycling store, whatever you call those, like a reuse store, yesterday, and she sent me a picture. And I don't know if any of you guys remember this, but if you remember it was like a soup dish like this. It was like a big mug, sort of, with the Campbell soup kids skating and skiing and fishing and things like that. So she found some, and she sent me a picture, and she said, do you remember these? And of course, we had a set of 6. And I forget where you got them, whether you had to send away for them or if they were available to buy with the soup or whatever. I don't remember how we got them, but when she got a couple for their for where they stay when they ski. I thought that was pretty fun. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going in again, just at the bottom of the leaves, to give them a little bit of dimension so that they look like, you know, they have a little bit more color depth at the bottom of the leaf. So I'm just going in here like this. Well, I know I'm old, so it's okay. Yeah, the kids used to love those dishes that they would only have their soup in there. They didn't want to have soup in a regular bowl. It had to be those Campbell soup bowls. There, so that's that. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, love it. Okay, so now I'll just lift it up so you can actually see what it looks like. So that's what we have so far. Isn't that pretty? Just with stencils. So let me pop that right back on here. And for our final stencil, it's number 5. So I'm going to pop this on, and the leaves line up quite nicely. So there we go. And I'm going to use the same color. I'm still just going to use a lemon lime twist. But again, I'm layering color, so I'm going to have that depth of color. There. Isn't that pretty? There. There. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous! So pretty. There. So you can see it's all the same color, but you just get that little bit of depth by adding it on top, just by layering color. Super, super pretty. Okay, let me just clean this because we're going to need it again in a minute. Now, one of the things that I didn't do with my original card, which I will do now, is I didn't cut out my flower first. So I'm going to, we don't need this for now. I'm going to bring over my cut and emboss machine. Let me just zoom out a little bit here. There. So I'm going to use just this big, oh, thanks, Nancy. This big die out of the dies that are in the kit, and I'm going to line it up. And I just need a little bit of washi tape to hold it in place. That looks pretty good. Get the cat hair out of there. All right, so I'm just going to run this through. If you're new to using dies, any cutting machine will have a menu that shows you what sandwiches to use for your cutting. So we're using just thin cut dies here. So it tells you right on here that you need a layer 1, a layer 2, and 2 layer 3s. So this is my layer 1. This is my base plate. And this is my shim. This is layer number 2. And then I have 2 cutting mats. And I use the same one for cutting all the time. And I use the same one for the top all the time. So this one can get destroyed and I still have a nice cutting mat. And then when this one is so beyond repair that it's terrible, then I'll just use this one and get a new one to use on the top. So you're just extending the life of your plates a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just run this through like this. And since I have my machine here, we might as well do all the cutting. So here's our flower. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous. Love it. Okay. Oops, I'm getting ink all over everything. So I'm just going to get these out of the way because I don't quite need them for a moment. So right now, I'm going to take my die. And I'm going to figure out where do I want my flower to be, like this. So kind of like this. And what I need to do is make sure that the bottom of my die is at the bottom of my card, because when you open it up, you want it to be able to stand up, right? So the bottom of your die needs to be at the bottom of your card, okay? Just so it can stand up. So I'm going to lay it kind of like that. So this needs to go like this. So I just want to make sure that the bottom of my die is at the bottom of my card, and I want it sort of centered. So I've got that on there like this. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to lay my top plate across just the sort of the bottom of my card like this, because I don't want to cut out the whole thing. I just want to cut out the bottom couple of inches. So let me put this in on my plate like this. And I'm going to put my plate on top of it. And I want it on a bit of an angle, so I'm just going to turn my paper slightly angled like this. So now I can go ahead and I'm going to run it through. And it's only going to cut as far as my plate is. So you can see on the bottom here where it's cut. So it's not cut the whole thing, just the bottom part of it. So I'm not quite finished with the cutting yet, but I'm just going to get this out of the way. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. There. Okay. So we need to cut out a couple more things, but I just want to show you this first. So the next thing we need to do is we are going to just snip. You can see I'm still really shaky, eh? I'm going to snip here to here, like this. And then I'm going to fold my card and make sure that my sides are square. And I'm just going to burnish it with my bone folder, because the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take my embossing folder, and for this I'm going to use the new color, a beautiful pattern embossing folder that just came out. I just love this. I haven't made a label for this yet. I think it's, oh yeah, online exclusive November. So it's not brand new, but it's pretty new. Now, what I want to do is, if you look at the embossing folder, you can see where the embossing ends. So it's like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch from the end of the edge of the embossing folder. So what I want to do is I want this fold to be lined up with the end of the embossing. So I'm going to hold it up to the light, and I want my embossing to line up. I don't know if you can see that or not. To line up with the end where the embossing ends, okay? And then I'm just going to bring up the other side. Make sure I'm straight. It looks pretty good. So let me bring this through again. Now, to do the embossing, oops, I need to change my sandwich here. So I'm still going to use my base plate number 1, which is the thick one. But I don't need 2 or 3, but I do need number 4. And number 4 is this gray one. And again, just like whatever machine you have, you will have your little menu on your base plate to show you how to do it. So I'm going to pop this on here. Oh, and you always want your embossing folders to go in fold first. That way, you're not going to make the bend part of it get out of whack and break. I have broken a couple. So you want to make sure that it goes in folded edge first, always. And I'm still going to leave this here because I do have some other things that I need to cut out. So I'll just put this here for a second. So here you can see, or can you? Yeah, there, isn't that pretty? But the embossing ends at the fold, and in fact mine's a little bit crooked, but I don't care. It's fine. So I'm going to pop that like that, and then this is going to sit on here like this and open like that. But first thing I want to do is I'm going to use my shimmer paste, and I want to do it now so that I can let it dry. And I wanted to make sure that I cut this out first, because when I made my other one, I didn't let my embossing dry completely, and I squished the centers of my flowers because it wasn't 100% dry, which is, you know, it's fine, but um, I wanted them to be a little bit more completed. So what I need in here is my number 3, which was my embossing, my stencil for the flowers, and then number 5, which is the stencil for my leaves. So where's my little mat that I had? All right, so I've got my silicone mat, and you can also use your other silicone mat that you use for glue, like this one here. So if you have this silicone mat, you can use this one too. Anything that is silicone, because the shimmer paste won't stick to it. So I'm going to grab some shimmer paste here. You can see I'm getting a little breathless, like it's from from the cold. I run out of steam every so often. So these knives come in a set of 3, like this. And this is my favorite one. I use this one the most. But whichever one works for you, obviously, is fine. So I have my shimmer paste, and I'm not going to use a lot. I'm just going to use maybe like that much. It's not much, but you don't need much. So I'm just going to pop that right on there. And I've got my, where are they? I have my ink refills, and I'm going to grab the fresh freesia. I just keep them in these little boxes. Unfortunately, we can't get that size of box anymore, but I'm sure you could get them on Amazon if you needed to really get them. So I'm just going to put 2 drops of this ink re-inker on here, and I'm just going to smush it into my glimmer paste. Now, I don't know if you can see the shimmeriness, is that a word? The shimmeriness of it all quite yet. Bring it up to the camera and see if you can see the shimmer. Like, I can see it. It's very pretty. Yeah, it looks kind of shimmery. Isn't that pretty? So I've got that done in that color. So let me get a piece of scrap. Oh, I'm just going to do it on here. So I have my silicone mat, and I'm going to lay my, I had it this way, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to line up my stencil, and I'm using the little green circles. Oh, thanks, Mary. My little green circles to line it up. All right, so I'm going to just take my paste, and again, you don't need a lot. I probably have way too much here. So I'm just going to plunk it on there and smush it in like icing. And I want to be careful not to get it into my green dots. Now, the thing about working with this embossing paste is you want to get it off your utensils right away and off your stencil right away, because when it hardens, honestly, it's like cement. And if you don't wipe it off right away, you won't get it off at all. Now, the silicone is fine because, you know, nothing sticks to silicone. So I'm going to grab a baby wipe here. And pull that up. Just get this off right away. Normally I would just take it, I have a bathroom down here, and I would just take it over to the bathroom and run it under the running water. But I'm sure you don't want to wait while I go do that. But the baby white takes it off quite nicely. And definitely you want to clean your knives, your palette knives right away too, because I had to throw one out because I actually had purple. It was purple too. I had purple on it and I couldn't get it off no matter what I did. I even tried using a blade to try and scrape it off, and I could not get it off. So it's like concrete if you don't get it off right away. So next I'm going to take a little bit more, and I'm going to add a lemon lime twist to it. Is this lemon lime twist? Yep. So I'm just going to add a drop of lemon lime twist. Now, if you don't have the re-inkers, what you can do, and what I did this afternoon because I was too lazy to go get my re-inkers actually, is you can flip open your... No, I should have done this before I put this goo on here. See if that works. Is just take your ink pad and get ink on there. And you can use, I used my brush actually, but you can do that too. And if you get enough ink on there, it will actually color your embossing paste here. But I want a little bit more color than that. You can use your brush. I did use my brush at one point to add the ink onto the mat before I put the paste on it this afternoon. Not this afternoon. Yeah, this afternoon. But I do want it quite vibrant. So this embossing paste comes in like a matte finish or a shimmer finish. So you have those two options. And again, it goes a really long way. You don't need to use a lot. And I have here press and seal, but you can just use saran wrap. But I highly recommend that you put some press and seal or some saran wrap in there to keep the air out. And then put the lid on it in between. Oh, hi, Marianne. Thanks for popping in. You know, to keep it from drying out. And if there's any of the paste on the top of your jar, make sure you wipe that off before you put the lid on it, because again, it's like concrete. All right, so I'm going to try and, what did I do with my stencil? I'm going to try and line this up without disturbing my purple, which I hope I can do. Maybe I should let it dry. Let's see, cross your fingers. I don't want to smush it. Oh, I did it. Okay. So I want to put a little bit of green on top of my flowers here. Ah, that was close. It almost went on my purple. And then just a little bit right there. 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 Woo! Look how pretty that is. I don't know if you can see the dimension, but it's actually like a 1/16 of an inch high, that paste. It's really pretty. So I'm going to let that sit over here. I'm just going to wipe this off with a baby wipe so it doesn't go hard concrete on me here. And, you know, you notice I made sure that I didn't have the other color on the stencil at the same time. All right, so that's that. This, I'm going to hope for the best, because I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm just going to go behind and dry this a little bit so that I can do the leaves. So let me grab my heat tool. And I just have it on the first speed. And I'm just going to go behind a little bit, back and front, to to dry that quickly. It's probably better if you let it air dry, but I want to put the leaves on too, so. But you can really see the shimmer. It's too bad that the shimmer doesn't really show. Oh yeah, it kind of does. It's very iridescent. It's really pretty. I gotta move a little bit quickly because I don't want my shimmer paste to dry on my knife. Let's see how we're doing here. That dries really fast. That's actually dry. All right, so now I'm going to take stencil number 5, which is the final one for the leaves, and line those guys up. Do I have it on the wrong way? Maybe this goes this way. Let's see. No, I think it goes this way. Yep, here we go. No, I don't think I have it the right way. Oh, there we go. Okay, got it. Got it, got it. All right. Okie doke. Is it perfect? I don't think so. That's okay. You can see this is starting to harden now, so I better move it. So I'm going to go ahead and just smush that over. Just need to see if I can scrape up a little bit here for right there. So you can see a little bit does go a really long way. Oh, I forgot one. Gotcha. Okay, very good. Okay. There we go. Ah, look at it. That is so pretty. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay. So let's give this a clean. This still has lots of shimmer on it, but at least it's not gunky with the paste. I'll clean my knife before it becomes concrete. Yeah, you can see it's getting hard on there already. All right, very good. Thankfully, this is silicone, so it doesn't matter too much, but it is hardening. All right, so I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes. We still have a few more things that we need to do, so there, beautiful. Okay. All right, so I want to cut 2 more of these out of just plain white cardstock. And I do have a couple of pieces of cardstock here. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I typically layer my cards quite a bit. Like I usually have 3 layers on a card. Like I'll have the card base, and then I have like a matte layer, and then I have the card front layer. So for me to just have this flippy, it bugs me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 more of these and layer them. Oops. I had it way at the other end. Good grief. All right, so there's 1. And here's 2. All right. So I think I'm done with this now. If not, we know where to find it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these to here like this. So let me grab my glue. And I'm a liquid glue girl, so you know, you can use kind of whatever type of glue suits your fancy. But I think because this is embossed and this has a lot of little pokey bits to it, probably a good idea, don't tell me you're empty, to use liquid glue so that you can get into all the nooks and crannies here. I'm just going to grab this. I know there's glue in there, but it's icky at the tip. Come on, play nice. I should have my silicone mat. Where did I put that? Who knows? It's funny how you just have something in your hands and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, where did that go? There we go. Did you see the 3 new kits this month? They're beautiful. There's the Make the Pet one that I've ordered for my grandkids, but the other 2 are absolutely gorgeous. I forget what they're called right now, but they are really nice. So it's not usual that we get 3 kits in a month. Usually it's just 2. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to put a 3rd one just because I can. It's going to go that way. There we go. All right. Now the beauty of using liquid glue is that I wasn't completely lined up, so you can smush it over until you are perfectly lined up, and that's the beauty of liquid glue. Okay, so are we dry here? We are pretty dry. Yeah, and it looks much better than the one that I ran through the cutting plates earlier when I made my first card, and I squished the inside of the flowers, so you kind of don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this onto here. And I want to make sure that it's well glued. I should be using my tweezers for this. That's all right. I hope you guys give this a try. It's not hard. It's a little bit of work, but to me, I think it's well worth it. I think it's one of those techniques that the card is really, really pretty, and it's different. It's unusual. There we go. Pretty well glued up, I think. Oops, missed a spot. There. So let's see. There we go. Beautiful. Oof. And just having those 3 layers there gives you just a little bit of dimension, a little bit more dimension. So you can see, you know, it's not up on dimensionals, but it does give you that little lift. And I think that that makes a huge difference too in a card. Very, very cute. There. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to do the inside of the card. So what I have here, now this was a celebration item from last year, but go through your, I'm notorious for buying designer paper and then I don't use it. I have designer paper, honestly, coming out of my ears. And so when I was looking for something that was going to match what I was doing today, I thought, you know, I'm just going to pick whatever it is. If it's current, great. If it's not current, I'm okay with that because I need to use this. Now, Celebration was free with a purchase, but still, you know, you got to use it, right? So I'm going to use this one. And this one is Blackberry Bliss and Petunia Pop. Now, I didn't really use Petunia. Well, I did a little bit Petunia Pop, but it matches. But I'm going to use this side because I don't want it like in my face. I just want it to, you know, match my flower. So I have a ruler here and I'm just going to measure how far up I need to go. So 2.5 inches will bring me up to here, you know, because I don't want to have just a piece of designer paper to here and then have the white. I want it to be finished looking. So I'm going to cut a piece that's 2.5 inches. So 2.5. So it's going to be 2.5 by 4.25. And I also want to have a little piece of black across the top because my inking is going to be black. And if you know me, if you know my cards, a lot of times I almost always have a layer of black in there. I just like it. So I've got this lined up with 1/8 of an inch because that's all I want. I just want a little tiny strip. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this into here. Got cat hair all over me. So I'm going to pop that on there. Okay, beautiful. And then I'm just going to put a little line of glue just across here. And then I'm going to lay my 1/8 of an inch strip right there. Okay. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Love it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, you have options here. We could stamp something from the stamp set. If you can find your stamp set. Oh, here it is. You could stamp something with your stamp set if you wanted to. Or you could use your Greetings for All ephemera. I love this. I've been using it like crazy, and I believe it's back in stock. So, but let's go ahead. We could stamp something. I'm easy. So I've got here, this says, "You make my heart smile." And I'm going to pop that right there. So let me grab my stamp positioning tool here. I've got my stamp apparatus here, but if you have a MISTI, you can use that. You can use whatever you know, like whatever you have. So I'm going to pop this here. So this is the stamp apparatus that Stampin' Up! Used to sell. They don't sell them anymore, unfortunately. I'm hoping that they bring in another one. Okay, and I'm just going to pick up my stamp. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it this way because it's getting caught on the edge here. So my magnet picked up my die. All right, so let's try that. Let's pick it up. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I have a piece of window sheet somewhere. Where is my window sheet? I usually have a piece of window sheet here. Oh, you know what? Here's some packaging from some any kind of plastic will work. So let me put this on here. So I do this literally with every single card that I stamp. So let me grab my ink. And I'm just going to test stamp it and see if it's straight, and it is. Now you probably can't see that because it's so faint. Super faint. But it is straight. So now I can wipe this off and go ahead and stamp it, because I know that it's going to stamp straight. But as I said, I literally do this with every single stamp that I stamp to make sure it's straight. There, beautiful. All right. So that's the inside. And I've just got my Stampin' Mist here to clean my stamp. And then I'm not going to put that away because I'm going to use it again. I'm going to take, oh, I just inhaled that. It's not whiffy, but it's because I can hardly breathe at the best of times right now. I do have a piece of, I have a little piece of black cardstock.
And I'm going to stamp on it.
Grateful for you.
So that one's happy anniversary. This one is grateful for you. So let me bring this back in. Now on here, I'm going to be doing some white heat embossing. So I'm going to put on Embossing Buddy. So it looks white. That's okay. I'm gonna wipe it off a little bit. So what this does is it keeps your fingerprints off it. It keeps some static electricity off it so that you're not getting embossing powder where you don't want it. So I'm gonna pop my stamp right here. And I'm gonna pick it up. And I need my Versamark ink. Versamark ink is a watercolor ink. So you can use it by itself. You can use it for embossing. It's a great ink for lots of different things. So now you'll notice when I'm pressing down my plate, I'm not pressing hard. I'm just giving it enough pressure so that the ink transfers to the paper. Okay. If I was to push on it, because that is photopolymer and it's quite fine, if I was to push on it, it's going to smush out the letters and it won't be a crisp stamp. So you want to make sure you don't. Sometimes I see on videos people going in there and they've got the whole body weight on it. I'm like, good grief, you don't need to do that. All right, so you can see it here. I've stamped it. And this takes a long time to dry, so you don't have to worry too much about it. I mean, obviously you're not going to let it sit there for half an hour, but take your time and clean your stamps and put them away. I had a stamp sitting on my shelf, no word of a lie, for 2 years, and I finally found where it went. And it was my very first stamp set. Jen, I don't know if you remember when I first came to you and I bought the one that was birthday delivery with the little girl on it. It was from there, believe it or not. What am I looking for? My white embossing powder. So I've got my Wow embossing powder and a piece of scrap paper. And I'm just going to sprinkle this on here. Okay. Okay, and I'll just pour that back into my little jar. And I'm going to grab my heat tool. And I'm going to heat it from the back. Now, this is something that I learned a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, I cannot believe I've been doing this all these years, and I just figured this out. I didn't figure it out. Somebody else figured it out. If you emboss from the back, if you heat from the back, your embossing is really flat and clean. I've always embossed from the front, and I've never loved it. But, in fact, I'll do a sample, and I'll show you the difference. Is that done? Yeah. So look at how nice that is. Let me do one from the front. So let me just grab a piece of scrap black. If I have one. I have a piece of scrap brown. We'll use that. So let me do the same stamp. Embossing Buddy. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp it with Versamark. And my white. Oof, tip that over. All right. So now I'm going to heat emboss it from the front and you'll see the difference. I couldn't believe this. I was shocked. So look at the difference. Oh, my camera's not the greatest, so you may not be able to tell. Here, let me wipe this off. Get the embossing powder off. Or the embossing buddy. But if you look at the brown one, it's bumpy. You can't really tell, but like it's not, this is completely smooth and really pretty. This one has little bumps, like little ripples all in it. And when I saw that video, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I've been doing it wrong all these years. So I guess it's not wrong. It's like whatever works for you, right? So then now I'm just taking off the embossing buddy so that I have my black back to be black. And then I'm going to clean my stamp because I'm going to show you something. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stamp over my embossing. And I'm just going to take a pencil and I'm going to trace around. Like that. So I don't know if you can see the pencil mark. Yeah, you can. And then I'm just going to cut it out because I'm terrible at fussy cutting. Fussy cutting is not my jam. So I'm going to go and just follow these pencil lines. And then that way, I don't have to think about it. Because I really am a crappy fussy cutter. There. Beautiful. Just want to round this corner off a little bit here. There. How lovely is that? Okay, so this is going to go here. Grateful for you. And I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. I had some dimensionals here a while ago. It's amazing how quickly my desk goes from organized to like complete chaos. Let me get some of this out of here. And maybe I'll be able to find my dimensionals. Who knows? Oh yeah, here they are. There, so let me pop this up on a couple of dimensionals. I can tell I've worn off what little energy I had today. I'm really, really shaky now. All right, so that's just going to go right here. Grateful for you. And then we just need some embellishments. So let's see, what do I have? Nothing here is jumping out at me. All right. So let's see. Oh, these are pretty. I don't know which ones these were. These were in colors from last year. And again, go through your stash and see what you have that matches. There is the purple. I don't know which box I put them in. The purple, not this one. It must be in here. Oh yeah, these ones. Oh, maybe I'll use these. These are the Purple Fine Shimmer gems from, I believe they're from last year too. Again, just go through what you have, and you could do gold in here. You could do lots of different things. But I like these. I'm going to use these guys up. Again, use your stash, you guys, because it's there. There we go. Come to mama. It keeps bouncing around. Now it's stuck to me. I think I'll put 5 on this. I don't typically use 5. I use typically 3, but I think this one needs a little bit more. There. So there we go. Isn't that just the cutest thing? And it stands up. There. So I hope I've inspired you guys. I've been addicted to making these. As you can see, I've made a few. And I really, when I got the idea yesterday to use the shimmer paste, I was like, oh, that's a keeper. I like that. So anyway, so I hope you give it a try. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. If you wouldn't mind, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, go right ahead and subscribe to it. And subscribe to my Facebook page too, if you don't mind. And don't forget, thumbs up. I need the algorithm. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now. Oh,